Guys, welcome back to the YouTube. So, we didn't vlog our last show. And I do apologise for that. But we are going to recap it now. I'm going to go through everything, including the show day footage. The reason why we didn't vlog it, anyone that follows us on Instagram will know, we got really ill. We got really ill in the lead up to the show, and unfortunately, it was more so just about survival, getting the season done, getting the show done, and just focusing on that. Unfortunately, we didn't think we were going to be able to bring our best, because George got it as well, and a couple of days leading up to it, she started to feel sick. And for me, it started at the start of peak week. I got really, really ill after that last show day. You can probably actually see it in the last show day vlog that we did. I started to feel a little bit ill there. And unfortunately, when I got home that night, it just hit me bad. And I was bedbound for the majority of peak week. So it was not ideal, but somehow we managed to pull it out of the bag. And I actually brought a better look than I brought the time before. And I managed to win my class, beating the chap that managed to beat me 2 weeks prior. So I will absolutely take that, and it's a massive, massive win, and it's a nice way for me to finish the season. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to recap my whole season, how I think it all went, what could I have done better, and what am I going to do moving forward. We're also going to look at Georgia and her last show as well. She got 3rd place. And what we're going to do with her as well moving forward, because her season is not yet done. She's still got a lot more to give and a bit more fine tuning to bring her best look for the Ifbb Pro qualifiers. But we'll go on to Georgia second, so we're going to go on to myself first. I'm actually going to start off with my look from the regional. Now, I'm going to play it now, although yes, this was my best look so far. That was mainly down to the fact that I brought more size because I've taken the off season off, right? I was a few kilos heavier here than I was in 2023. However, I did feel, especially looking back, I was very flat and I was a little bit watery from the back as well. And I think potentially it did cost me because Antonio, the chap to the left of me here in the black and red and white shorts, he took the class win, and it was fully deserved because if you look at his chest, you look at his delts, big, full, round and bubbly. Now to start with, you know, they were moving him around me. I was holding the central location quite well. And then they said turn to the back, and that's where it went a little bit wrong. Like I said, I was holding a bit of water in the lower back for sure, and I wasn't full, so my lats just weren't popping. And I missed out on the size game, and this is where Antonio definitely overtook me, and it's fully deserved. Fully deserved that he took the win on that day. So upon reflection, looking back at it, I decided that I wanted to go for a different approach for my next show, and basically we went back to the drawing board. Me and Georgia decided to team up once again, and we decided to replicate what we did in 2023 because it worked really well for us. And that's what we wanted to do moving into the next show. So you can see there, turn to the back, had a look at the back shot, moved me straight out, and that's where I basically got my 3rd placing. So that was the game plan. So straight off the back of this show, got straight back to work the next day, okay, dug really, really hard, and actually brought in really nice condition. I chipped off a couple of kilos from where I was at this show, just to bring that extra condition, and then we were gonna run in with the peak week that we had planned, which worked for us in 2023. But then I got ill. I was in bed for literally the majority of peak week, and I couldn't do anything. No expenditure, no steps. Luckily, appetite was still there, so I was able to eat food, but I was actually 2 kilos heavier going into my next show. And now, at the time, I was in my head a little bit thinking, oh, I haven't done any expenditure all week, I haven't been training, so this 2 kilos extra is not going to be good. But basically, like I said, we did the exact same peak week pretty much in terms of what we did with the food, because I still had an appetite, I could still eat food, the water, any water manipulations that we had, and I didn't really use any diuretics, whereas the first week I had a lot of natural diuretics at play, which I think was the reason why my look kind of flattened off a little bit. So we didn't use those. We only used 2 servings of Peak Max leading into the next show. And I feel like, if we load it up here, it just led to a much better look. I was bigger, I was fuller. Could I have been better again? Yeah, I still think I could have been better again with a perfect peak week, but you can actually see my lower back detail on this one. And although Antonio, I still think he slightly still beat me from the back, the margin was a lot closer because I had that back detail back and I was bigger and fuller. So from the front I won again, which was the judges' feedback when I spoke to Maz afterwards. But like I said, because I closed the distance in the back shot, that's what got me the win. So yeah, Antonio was a great competitor. It was really good to go against him a couple of times. Definitely close between us for sure. And I wish him all the luck moving into the rest of the season, whatever he gets up to. But yeah, off the back of this, I was extremely happy to take that class win. Then went into the overall. Now the overall was it was just a win for me to get into that because I've never been in an Ifbb Pro qualifier overall before. Now I was put on the outside, I wasn't looked at again, and I stayed on the outside. And looking at it, I can understand why, for sure. Like Gerald, the chap in the middle here in the black shorts, he took the pro card and he deserved it 100%. When you're looking at it here, to be honest, I didn't hit my front pose the best. I was on the outside, so I was trying to angle into the head judge a little bit more. I think I compromised my top line a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Like I said, he didn't even look at me. He already knew who he wanted for the pro card, which was fair enough. And when I spoke to him afterwards, he was like, "You're there from the front. The front's there. It's where it needs to be, but the back just needs to come up." So yes, that's why I've decided to end my season there. I have had a few messages from people saying, "Why don't you just carry on, just do a few more shows?" Guys, there's no point. I need to bring my back up. Yes, I could go to a show where the standard isn't very high. Maybe I could scrape a pro card, but that's not how I want to win. That's not how I want to win a pro card. I want to be fucking good. I want to be like stand in any lineup and be in the mix for it. And I want to be able to get a pro card and potentially be competitive in a pro show straight away. I'm not in a rush to get the card. I enjoy the whole process of bodybuilding. So I'm going to get back to growing, and I'm also decided that I'm also going to start working towards classic as well, because I'm only around 6 or 7 kilos off of my classic weight cap. So I believe with my structure I can do both. So the game plan is to close that gap, really focus on my back and my legs to bring the legs up more. And then the next run that I'll have at the pro card, whether that's the end of 2026, whether that's 2027, I'm going to do both categories. And whichever one I hopefully will win a pro card in, that's where I know where my future sort of like lies. But that is the game plan for me. So overall, how did I think the season went? Am I happy? I think it went okay. This season was more so to have a stab at a pro card, see how close I am. I now know how close I am and what I need to do moving forward. Frustrated, I couldn't quite bring my best to either shows. First one, I didn't feel like we quite nailed it. And then the second time around, obviously because of the illness. But even so, even if that's the case, right? It still wouldn't have mattered. It still wouldn't have changed the overall outcome of me not getting a pro card, because I'm not quite there yet. So it really doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm going to go into off season now and I'm going to get growing. Now, on to Georgia. Now, Georgia brought a fantastic look. Obviously, this is off the back of her overall win from PCA last week, where she brought a look which was spot on for that federation. She secured that sword, and that is a look that we'll be bringing to the universe if she decides to do the universe. But it's all going to be dependent on, obviously, how the rest of her season goes and how she feels at the time. Now, for this one, we came in 1 kilo fuller and a little bit softer, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite soft enough. So you can see it in her comparison here. When she transitions and when she walks to the back, she has some lines on her glutes and some striations that are there still, and that, you know, it just doesn't fly in NPC. It doesn't fit the criteria, which is frustrating because when she's in the shot, she's perfect. And the girl to the right of her here, 2 spots over, is actually the pro card winner. So if you look at how much muscle mass Georgia has, and if you look at the flow that Georgia brings to her physique, it's actually, in many ways, better than the pro card winner. But the pro card winner got the pro card because her condition was exactly where it needed to be and her glutes were big and full, right? So it's not me saying, oh, Georgia deserves it more or anything like that. I'll never be that type of coach. But what I am taking from it is the positives, the fact that Georgia does have the muscle mass in many of the areas and her flow of her physique is very, very good. We just need to iron out those striations and to try and nail that a little bit better. So game plan is for her next show to continue that process, and we're absolutely doing that. She's actually now 1.5 kilos up from this show already, just a few days later. And that's what we're going to be doing, continuing that process, assessing the look, multiple, like 2 or 3 check-ins a day we're doing at the moment, and assessing her, basically her glute fullness and also her conditioning. Because once we start to lose those striations, we know we're game on, but it's going to be a case of softening up to lose the striations, but not so much that we lose our glute ham tie. We want to keep that, and we want to keep a midsection. So it is a very, very fine balance next, but we are in the process of doing it. And once we nail it, I do think she is going to be in the mix, which is why she has not finished the season yet, and she is going to continue. So that's it, guys. A little recap of the shows. I didn't want to just not do anything because obviously I've been vlogging the whole series, but yeah, hopefully everyone understands that I was just very, very deflated getting ill in the lead up to that last show. And I just wanted to focus on getting it done. I had no idea how the outcome was going to come out, if I was going to be able to win, if I was going to lose and flop or whatever, because I was in my head a little bit. But I'm still glad that we got the footage and I managed to complete the mission. I managed to bring a better look, even though I was bedbound all week. And yeah, I managed to get the win. So that's great. So now I know what I need to do moving forward. So the whole series for me is going to be that transition to classic, what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be rebounding out of the show, because I am rebounding out. It's a position I've never been in before. I've got 6 weeks of growing and blasting out of a show, so that's really fucking exciting for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. And like I said, we're going to continue the process with Georgia. Next show is in a few days' time. So yeah, we'll take you on a journey and it's going to be fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it wasn't as exciting as a normal show day vlog, but I wanted to do so. I wanted to put something together to round off my season and to basically give the plan of action moving forwards. And yeah, basically just recap Georgia's show as well and what we're doing with her. So on to another good one. And I'm very excited for what the next show brings. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.